Thank you so much, Jack. Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. Today we're going to talk about creating and maintaining a compliance plan in the orthopedic office. Now, the compliance plan was voluntary up until the Affordable Care Act was signed in the Obama administration. And in the Affordable Care Act, it became a requirement. Now, Medicare still, or CMS, OIG, they still have not given a formal date as to when they are going to begin enforcing compliance plans, and that's for covered entities. So any physician practice would fall under this. However, I do want to tell you, and I'm sorry I don't remember, but just yesterday I was reading a notice, and it was, I want to say it was from Humana, but it could have been United Healthcare, but I think it was Humana, that said that as of July 1st, they were going to be enforcing that their providers have compliance plans. Now, it really was just like a paragraph, and it didn't go into exactly how they were going to do that, but it did say that they were going to begin enforcing that. So if you don't have a compliance plan, we're going to give you some help in thinking about and giving you some ideas on how to create one. If you already have one and maybe you're looking to tweak it or make sure that you're covering all the bases, we'll also be talking about that information too. My disclosure for today, the 99204 bill with a 64483 on the same day is not supported by the documentation. This is probably the most controversial coding issue that we currently have in orthopedics, is this modifier 25 on office visits with other services performed on the same day, and more specifically injections. Whether they are joint injections, trigger point injections, with a 25 modifier is not supported by the documentation, and that the 99204 bill with a 64483 on the same day is not supported by the documentation. This is probably the most controversial coding issue that we currently have in orthopedics, is this modifier 25 on office visits with other services performed on the same day, and more specifically injections. Whether they are joint injections, trigger point injections, spinal injections, the use of an E&M service and a procedure on the same day that has a 0 or 10-day global period is becoming more and more complicated. For those of you that may deal with Anthem Insurance, they had actually put out a notice that they were going to begin reducing the reimbursement on the office visits. They did end up rescinding that, but it is something that they're looking at. We're also receiving from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois rejections on visits with modifier 25 without even the request for medical records, and they're telling us that it is